Welcome everyone to this dotacommentaries.com presentation. I'm LD. I'm joined here today by my good friend Siege. We're casting Duskbin versus Minimice. This is for the ProDota2 Asian division, and this is for the non-pro, well, Asian region, and this is for the non-pro division. They have a pro and a non-pro division, if you're wondering. This is for the non-pro. But these teams are still quite good. I'm looking forward to this game. Siege, thanks for joining me.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. I thought Duskbin were a pro team, or are they qualified? Are they rated as a non-pro team for Dota 2?
Well, the way this league works is there are teams that are sponsored, and technically they're pros, but they're in what they call the non-pro division. It's really not the best name. It should probably be, I don't know, like the B League, and they should have an A League or something like that. Whatever. They are sponsored. Duskbin is a sponsor. So technically they are pros, but the league is called non-pro. I probably just shouldn't even use that term, because every time I cast this league, I end up like spending...
It's such a mouthful every time I hear you start with
It is a mouthful. Then I get flamed for it. So anyway, in terms of the bans that we're seeing here, pretty nice balance between teamfight heroes and pushing heroes. And of course there's some overlap. Just generally good heroes to ban. Nothing too surprising here. Duskbin having the first pick, not interested in first picking.
Your overlays on.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Well, thank you, Alan. So anyway, back to the game.
I told you to use my overlay.
Yeah. So Duskbin has the first pick here, but they're choosing not to ban the Invoker or the Prophet. Yeah, guys, the overlay's fixed. Sorry about that. Wait, is the starboard up, though? That's the other question.
That's a very interesting pick from Duskbin.
Yeah, so they wanted Darkseer to be the first pick. They leave him in the pool and they get him. This is not the first time we've seen this. And frankly, you know, if you go for Darkseer, you're not tipping your hand too much. Now, traditionally, he's thought of as more of a team fighting hero because, you know, the big wombo combo with the vacuum plus the wall. He's also a strong laning hero. I mean, he can handle the suicide lane. If you want to put him in the jungle, he can certainly do that as well. Speaking of versatile heroes, Windrunner will be the reply. Another strong solo hero. But of course, can go into that support role. That's normally not how we see her played. Probably the most traditional second and third pick you can ever see in Dota 2 nowadays is the Windrunner plus the Tidehunter. Gives you some team fight. Well, some team fight. Gives you a lot of team fight. And they're going to go for a morphling. Now, Duskbin, they do play very aggressively, but morphling is a decent carry if you want to be aggressive. Because that waveform is it's good damage early on. He's pretty mobile. He's hard to bring down thanks to all of his escape mechanisms and survivability.
They're also showing off they want to go really aggressive with the Crystal Maiden early. I'm surprised they didn't pick up Venomancer as well. But with a Darkseer who can also go incredibly aggressive, it looks like they'll be going for an early... try and take advantage of the early game.
5 seconds.
Also, by the way, you've got some weird feedback.
Okay, give me 1 second. I will try and fix that. While I'm doing that, feel free to continue talking.
Okay. Yeah. And so we see Minimice apparently taking the time for the last pick.
OD is going to be the pick.
Destroyer.
Oh man, I'm
Outworld
excited. We
Destroyer.
never see this hero.
We just saw him yesterday, didn't we?
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you look at like how many matches are played every day, he's a very rare pick to be sure. Now, if you're going for OD, you're getting one of the strongest, if not the strongest, 1v1 laning heroes in the game. Now, that being said, he is fairly gankable. His Astral Imprisonment can help to keep him alive. But going up against the Crystal Maiden, going up against the Darkseer, even a Morphling, if you get ganked, and I'm expecting we'll see more aggressive heroes coming out from Duskbin, you're in a lot of trouble. Now, if you're going to pick OD, you want to pick some defensive heroes to supplement them, heroes that can control the lanes. And let's say they dive you at the tower, you can Astral Imprison, Tide TPs in, drops that Ravage. And so I like the way that they're picking the supporting cast around him. Which in my opinion, it's not the carry that matters, it's more how you build the team to emphasize his strengths. And so far I like the way they're constructing their lineup. They're picking good defensive heroes. Of course, Windrunner very good defensively. If the game goes long enough, I'm not really sure who wins in the carry battle. I mean, I suppose...
it will come down to the... Wow, that's a very interesting ban. I'd expect them to pick up the Earthshaker as he's a great defensive support for Outworld Destroyer. It comes down to whether or not Minimice can take advantage of their great mid-game abilities. Once OD hits level 12 with a couple of good items, with a Ravage and maybe with some good support, they can definitely take a fight.
Yeah, of course.
Crystal Maiden is pretty squishy mid-game, and if you can shut down Darkseer, which is pretty hard, but still.
Now,
And yeah, go ahead.
one thing that I really like the OD for, he's very good in the laning phase in a 1v1 situation. So they don't, I mean, traditionally, or I guess the most common place you'll see him, at least in a pub game, is to go solo mid. That's often where you see him in pro games as well. But if you want to put him in the safe lane, and let's say he's up against the Darkseer, which is probably the most common matchup, he's going to be completely fine. Even if Darkseer tries to charge in on him with that surge, you just imprison him and walk away. Or if you're in danger and you get ganked, imprison yourself. And if there's enough heroes there, you might be in for some trouble. I am interested to see that Enchantress has not been banned yet. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Duskbin pick it up. The one thing that they're lacking right now is reliable stuns. So if they go for an Enchantress, well, the creeps will give you some stuns early on if you get lucky. But as you move into the mid game, you can't rely on those. And against a hero like OD, you cannot let him auto attack. If he ever gets a BKB up, if he ever gets just some damage items, some tank items up, he can rip through your team in no time at all. Also interesting to note, OD is being picked versus a morphling who, you know, traditionally morphling, well, OD is really good at countering or at doing damage to heroes that are not intelligence heroes because of his ultimate. Of course, the orb is great versus morphling because it ignores armor. So morphling normally is one of the highest armors of any carry in the game, especially if he morphs heavily to agility, goes for the shotgun build. OD will not care about that. Now, if morphling gets a BKB, suddenly the tables are turned. But at least in the mid game, expect to see OD ripping through morphling if it comes to a 1v1 fight, and assuming equal farm, which, of course, you can never assume these things. I am curious to see where either team goes from here. I mentioned Enchantress.
I think Duskbin would actually pick up a Vengeful Spirit as their last support. It provides some great initiation.
Yeah, and they are lacking initiation. Sure, you've got Vacuum, but you don't really want Morphling leading the charge. I mean, we saw Havos yesterday. I don't know if anyone watched that Navi game. I forget who they... I think it was against DTS. And he was pretty much the initiator on his team. Excuse me, just constantly picking off isolated supports because he was so farmed. In the end, they ended up... well, I don't want to spoil it. It was an epic game, but... spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear the result of that, mute your stream for a second. But they did end up losing in spite of his great play. So yeah, they don't really have a reliable initiator. Normally, Morphling will not be in that role. Vacuum is okay, but you need some follow-up. You normally want to save that for as a sort of a secondary spell or have another spell to go after it. So Venge will give you that initiation. Witch Doctor is the pick as well. They're looking pretty squishy, man, to say the least.
Witch Doctor is not thought of as a very aggressive support. He is generally best at a counter gank. So, I'm not sure how he fits in. Maybe he'll just be babysitting with a roaming CM.
Yeah, I mean, see, they still don't have reliable stuns. I mean, Cask is nice, but you can't really count on it bouncing to who you want it to. Especially if they pick up something that has summons. Well, I guess Enigma's bad. There probably won't be any summons in this game. I'm not sure who would be left to get them, besides Enchantress. But yeah, the Witch Doctor Cask, not the most reliable stun. CM's Freeze Bite is nice, but again, it's not a true stun. You can cast abilities while you're frostbitten. Vacuum, not a stun. Adaptive Strike, a very short duration stun. I don't know. I mean, who do they pick as their last pick? Maybe a Sand King.
Beastmaster? Beastmaster would do okay, I guess.
Oh, Venge coming out, and I would love to see Beastmaster on Minimice's side, as now you're looking at a pretty sick aura strat, as well as the minus armor from Venge and Tidehunter. That'll allow you to do Roshan quickly, and newsflash, you're on the dire side, so you'll have easier access to the pit. Of course, I like Beastmaster on Duskbin's side as well. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I think they're a little lacking in reliable stuns, and against a carry who hits as hard as OD, you really need one.
Yeah, especially the fact that it goes to the BKB, which OD should pick up after his 4th star.
5 seconds remaining.
There's not much I could say about the Dire lineup, other than they'll probably be playing extremely defensive.
Yeah, they have the heroes to do it. The other thing I like about the Vengeful Spirit pick is if OD ever gets into trouble, Venge is available to swap him out. And that's just the second line of defense. Of course, Tidehunter, one of the best defensive heroes, because Ravage just has such a strong AoE. If you ever try to tower dive, oh man, Omniknight is the pick. I like this quite a bit. Will synergize nicely with the Morphling. So yeah, they still don't have stuns, but that Repel is going to make OD absolutely worthless. Well, his Orb's not going to hit, his ult's not going to hit, Ravage is not going to hit. So if Morphling gets a good start, it is lights out for the Dire squad. As long as that Repel comes out from Omniknight, there's no natural Diffusal Blade carrier on the Dire squad. So in theory, the pick is fantastic. Now, will they have the lanes?
We could see a comedy semi-carry Vengeful Spirit. rushing a diffusal.
Well, I mean, it's really important to have a diffusal blade versus an omniknight. I mean, sure, it's not a hard counter because you can recast that repel, and of course the ult's there as well. The timing isn't always right, but if you don't have it, you have no answer for that repel. Besides hoping you can outright click a hero. And normally OD wins right-click wars, but he's not going to win them if he can't use his orb on heroes. That is his primary source of damage, especially later on in the game.
I want to see what do you think the lanes will be for Duskbin? I don't think that omniknight would win mid versus a windrunner, or even an OD. He might win against an OD, but definitely not against a windrunner.
I don't see anybody on the Radiant squad beating OD mid if he wants to go there. Now, will they put him there? I don't know. Crystal Maiden, very strong ganking that middle lane. If she's got, I mean, really, if she's paired with any of those heroes in mid, they might do a dual lane mid for Duskbin's side. They could put the omniknight there, as well as the Crystal Maiden, and then pair the morphling with the Witch Doctor. I think we are going to see a dual lane. Wow, they're going for a double carry strat. This is a pretty, I mean, suddenly a greedy lineup. And I guess the question is, how will the OD and the anti-mage build? Because generally, these heroes are played as ultra hard carries, farming all game. I mean, even if anti-mage doesn't get a battle fury, you know, he's normally looking for the Mantis style, the heart, the butterfly if the game goes long enough. OD looking for the Hex, the BKB, and then possibly the Shivas. So what looks like a greedy lineup, I'm guessing we're going to see either the anti-mage or the OD go for more mid-game items. We can talk about that more in a second. Let's go ahead and introduce the players. So on Minimice's side, we have Zune playing the Tidehunter. This will be a hard support Tidehunter with smoke, Observer Wards and Smoke of Deceit already picked up. Zhao Ying going to be handling that support Vengeful Spirit, so you will not see your farming Venge. Sorry, Siege. Hannah P on that Windrunner. Looks to be a farming Windrunner. Anti-Mage heading bottom as well. He was pooled a healing salve and purchased a completed Poor Man's Shield, expecting a lot of harassment. And indeed, that was a smart decision up against a lot of aggressive heroes on the Radiant squad. Awesome, going to be playing that OD. Looks like he'll be soloing the top lane and farming it. And he's going to be up against the Darkseer. So if this is the lane, OD is going to get a lot of farm. The question is, how will the other lanes match up? But before we talk about that, why don't you go ahead and introduce the Radiant side?
Sure. We'll see a support CM, Cask, who has already brought up Sentry Wards, expecting the pool to be warded, I assume. Mr. Swish will be on Morphling on the safe lane. He should get a lot of farm with CM, Witch Doctor supporting him. Smoke up on Witch Doctor, and there's going to be a bit of an engagement here.
Yeah,
nothing but just a bit of harass.
Well,
that's a rather interesting ward coming out from the Dire. It does not actually block this medium camp up here. It only gives you sight of the ruin.
Well, they are. Anyway. I mean, they are anticipating that the Darkseer is going to be solo top, which means there's no real jungle presence for Duskbin. So in that sense, you don't really need to block off the camps. And if you go for Magic Bush Ward, it'll probably get countered.
Yeah, I assume if you were to block off the pool, you'd want to put it inside the trees here.
Oh, immediate counter warding from Cast. He is on top of this. Nice map sense for him, good awareness. In the middle lane, we're going to see an Anti-Mage versus an Omniknight. This is a very bad matchup for Omniknight. You see him using one heal. He's pretty much out of mana. If he's able to get up like a Soul Ring, then he'll be able to spam that heal when he needs to. But for now, Anti-Mage burning all his mana will get decent farm. In the bottom lane, it's going to be tri-lane on tri-lane. Crystal Maiden, Witch Doctor, and Morphling. A lot of offensive power, not much defensively. Well, Witch Doctor can with the heal. Some blows being traded back and forth. Nobody going down yet. I gotta say, if I'm Duskbin, I don't want to play too aggressively here because you have the squishy supports. As I say that, they apparently have other ideas. Cast coming out, Magic Missile to follow. Will Lay go down? He gets gushed. One more auto attack should do it. Two more auto attacks should do it. Tidehunter in jeopardy. Tidehunter might go down. First blood, though, being claimed. Nice salve up. Tidehunter is going to live. Crystal Maiden might be the next to follow. Windrunner apparently targeting the wrong hero by mistake. Oh, Tidehunter feeds to neutrals. I'm not sure why he did that. He could have walked away. But in the end, it is a 1-for-1 trade. Denies himself to neutrals in exchange for first blood. Great play there coming out from Minimice.
That was a very easy first blood, but I don't know why he died. I assume he was expecting Omni or someone to rotate in from mid. Maybe a quick TP from Witch Doctor.
Yeah,
I don't
perhaps.
see this.
I think it's just a misplay.
I don't see why this tri-lane should stay here, and as I speak, Witch Doctor is rotated mid. Oh yeah, maybe he'll stay here? No, looks like he's just gonna check the rune and then go back bot.
Well, they got the first blood. That should make Windrunner a little bit more comfortable in the lane. Anti-Mage is having a good time mid, though. If you look at the lane, Omniknight is getting outright clicked. He has no mana to heal. It's just very difficult if you're a melee hero to deal with Omniknight. Or to deal with Anti-Mage, excuse me. As I say that, he's picked up a bottle. He does have more of an ability to push the lane, at least with the heal being an AoE nuke. In the top lane, Darkseer doing a little bit of tower harassment, tower diving to awesome. You'll notice he's not A-clicking the hero, so he's not drawing the tower aggro, he's just trying to run next to it. Now doing a little bit of creep skipping in the middle lane. Antimage salving up, he's forced to blink away by Witch Doctor. So I like this decision by Duskbin to rotate another hero bottom, or excuse me, to the middle lane. It's just so hard when you're a melee here to deal with Antimage 1v1, but with that dual lane, they should be fine. It'll slow down Antimage. Of course, the trade-off is Mr. Swish up against the tri-lane in the bottom lane, not going to be having too much fun.
He wasn't going to get that much farm, even with the Witch Doctor.
Uh-oh, awesome in jeopardy top. He's already used imprisonment. He's going to go down. Lei shows up, drops a cast, but really not necessary. Well, this is one of the... I mean, I thought OD would be okay this lane, but I suppose if you don't have creep support, then, you know, Darkseer can dive you with impunity. And in fact, that was the case there. Definitely a lane you wouldn't expect to be seen any kills on early on. Great play by Argian.
Witch Doctor didn't even use a smoke. He just walked up there and helped out with the game.
Uh-oh, Shackle shot on cast. He's going to go down. He's melting. This bottom lane not having a good time at all for Duskbin, and their only hard carry is the morphling. Let's take a quick look at creep scores, as this game featuring so many hard carries. Farm will be very important. OD with 12 and 3, Antimage 17 and 0. For the Radiant, Mr. Swish only 10 and 4, but the Darkseer and the Omniknight having a good time. Ninja Boogie 14 and 1, Argian 17 and 0. Yeah, so overall,
it looks like the Radiant is sort of winning the creep war as it goes.
Yeah, but the distribution is not really what you hope for, right? Because you want that Morphling to be getting fat. He's got to outcarry an OD and an anti-mage. I mean, he can't have a slow start, but right now that's what he's getting. As I say that, maybe we'll see a quick Radiance up on the Darkseer or the Omniknight.
That would be fun. Okay, Facebook, SNY on Omniknight maybe?
That's one way to play the hero. Of course, you can split up that SNY now. I doubt we'll be seeing it. I want to mention Tidehunter still has a smoke up. There are no wards currently for the Radiant on this bottom lane, so if they want to smoke gank mid, it's definitely a possibility. Oh, Heal Bomb coming out from Ninja Boogie, almost killing the NTH. Well, now that he's gotten a little bit of support and he's bottle crowing like a champ, it seems that he's going to be doing just fine in this middle lane. So just a little assistance from the Witch Doctor. Suddenly, Antimage is the one on the back foot. Darkseer continuing to be a total nuisance in the top lane. He's creep skipping, popping his salve. He's got the soul rain, another 850 gold in the bank. I don't know, OD might be in a little bit of trouble here as we see a double damage smoked up Witch Doctor charging it. Surge, Astral Imprisonment should follow, but unfortunately he imprisons the Darkseer, which means he has no way to survive. He's going to go down. One level of heal picked up from Lei, that'll keep him safe in the middle lane. Anti-Mage and Omniknight
can afford to give away.
trading hits. Yeah, this OD and the Anti-Mage now suddenly having kind of a difficult time. Of course...
Ooh, big shackle. And Mr. Switch goes on. That's a very good kill. They need to get that.
Yeah, if you're tri-laning and you don't get kills, your supports end up extremely underleveled. But because they're getting those kills, it's working out. So we're pretty much seeing every single carry having a tough time. Antimage hasn't died. He's got 23 creeps. I suppose he's doing the best out of anyone. But he does seem to be slowly losing this lane to Ninja Boogie, thanks to that Witch Doctor rotating mid. Oh, another Heal Bomb comes out. Antimage not going to like that, but he's still right-clicking. He wants to fight this. And in the end, Ninja Boogie will make a tactical retreat. And the bottom lane, they're going to make a go on cast here. Will he get caught is the question. Crystal Maiden, just such food for the minus armor, as well as her slow move speed. She's going to die almost certainly to this dive. In comes the Vengeful Spirit. Magic Missile to initiate. Gust to follow. One more right click will do it. Two more right clicks will do it. Down she goes. Crystal Maiden cannot sit in this lane by herself. One of the downsides of Crystal Maiden, if she's up against an aggressive tri-lane, she's not very good defensively. She's slow, she's squishy, and she has no escape mechanism. We see it right there. In the top lane, I just want to mention the tower is taking a lot of damage, already down to 300 HP.
Yeah, I was about to suggest that Minimice had better rotate one of his sports up top, since the Outworld Destroyer was getting ganked so badly, and even as I speak, he's down to 1/3 HP just from the...
This is so cheeky. He's forced to imprison. Nice TP in from Veg. Of course, she's only level 3. Even Anti-Mage joining the party. I didn't even notice that on the map.
That's Darkseer down.
Yep. Down he goes. I mean, it did take the Anti-Mage and the Venge showing up, but a much-needed kill to be sure. Waveform in on Windrunner. Cask was held. Some great hero blocking from Lei. Really well done by him. I think they might be able to get the kill. Waveform coming off cooldown in 3, 2, 1. In he goes for the waveform. In he goes for the waveform. Mr. Switch, use your waveform. He does. Still not enough. Windrunner no mana. Mr. Switch picks up a much-needed kill. So, I mean, really, right now, I gotta say, Duskbin looking pretty strong. You know, but again, the kills are being traded back and forth on the carries. In spite of his deaths, Obsidian Destroyer up to 1,000 gold. Curious, what will he go for? Will he just get power treads? Will he try and rush a 4-staff?
Not so.
It remains to be seen.
He'd get a 4-staff against the enemy team. You need that reposition versus the morphling plus the darkseer.
Yeah. Oh, as I miss a kill in the middle, and antimage dying solo to the omniknight. That should not happen. I mean, frankly.
360 pure damage really hurts.
It does.
Antimage has got 700 HP, that's half his HP right there.
It does, but you got to do the math. Mr. Switch in a lot of trouble here in the bottom lane. Cast in a lot of trouble. Great cast, bouncing nicely between the heroes. The heal from Witch Doctor will be enough. Anchor Smash not going to hit. Maledictus pop. Instead, Witch Doctor will be the one to die, so they save one support and feed another. In the end, not the best trade. Okay, I need to up your sound level, which means I will just lower mine and you guys can up the volume on the stream. And Siege, try talking a little.
That works out. That works out. Okay.
Try talking a little louder if you can.
Sure. So, Outworld Destroyer did pick up his power treads at the tower, and his top tower might be in a bit of jeopardy.
I can already tell we're gonna need to use that word less because I think we've used it like 6 times this cast. But
What, jeopardy?
yeah, it's a good word. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. So, actually, they could deny this tower. Especially since they see the omniknight.
Oh man, 129 HP. Arjun knows that he wants the tower. For now, he's pushing the lane. Ninja Bogey, invisible, is showing up to the top lane. He is maxi.
Is he gonna get any support from this tidehunter? Vengeful? No.
Awesome going for the deny. He's probably gonna pay for that with his life. Heal bomb comes in. One more auto attack. Ninja Boogie playing like an absolute ninja right now, picking up that kill. What was I talking about? I figured Antimage would have the edge mid, but Ninja Boogie, frankly, just doing a lot more for his team. Of course, Antimage needs a little bit longer to get going, but still, you got to give Ninja Boogie a lot of credit.
I really don't understand why they didn't rotate anyone top, or why he went in for the deny with omniknight. You see the dire ward on the ramp in river? That clearly showed omniknight going to top lane.
Well, he was invis. Did he pop the invis and vision of it?
Did he have an invis?
Yeah, he had an invis rune, but I don't know when he popped it. I'm guessing he popped it before he went near that rune. Man, there's just so much pressure being applied right now between the Darkseer and the Omniknight. Oh, as I miss a kill.
Look at that big heal bomb.
Oh, in the bottom lane, Ninja Boogie continuing the chase. He's got that level 3 repel, so Mr. Switch can be very aggressive. There's no Ravage on Tidehunter. Omniknight ult gets popped. Looks like Minimice going to be in a headlong retreat. Waveform of both. Nicely played by Mr. Switch. That's going to be it, but Tidehunter beat. No, it's not. Mr. Switch once more. Great heal bomb. Oh, the illusion by the Omniknight. Really, really well played. Ninja Boogie playing like a champ. So aggressive, even with what is thought of as a defensive hero. Ninja Boogie showing that you can put Omniknight onto the offensive side of the field, and he will make things happen. What a play. Great coordination coming out from both. Minimice in headlong retreat now. Rave Plu trying to challenge for that bottom rune. Instead, he's forced all the way back.
I think he hit another heal bomb to the face.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And yeah, he's got 700 HP.
Dude, Duskbin are playing like...
and he's dead.
They are playing like champs right now. Oh, Arjun in the middle lane. He's Shackle, not going to latch. Power shot. Vacuum, he's still alive. He is very tanky with that Vanguard. And will he be able to make it out of here? Omniknight shows up. Heal, nice heal. Repel to follow if he needs it. Antimage still chasing the supports over towards the bottom. They're still fighting in the shadow of the tower. Will Arjun go down? He's still not dead. They heal in 3, 2, 1. Not going to be a time. Hasted Ninja Boogie. He was hasted that whole time. Great heal bomb. Oh my god, Ninja Boogie. Boogieing all over the place. Will he kill the Antimage as well? Gets Magic Missile. He's got the Magic Wand. Not going to pop it. Just enough damage. Oh, Ninja Boogie, you are living on the edge, and sometimes it looks awesome, and sometimes it backfires, but I love the way he's played right now.
The fall is really hard. That's a really long fall.
I really wanted to see Ninja Boogie pop that wand and heal bomb the anti-mage for another kill. I'm not rooting for Duskbin, I'm just rooting for big plays. But unfortunately, not going to be the case. Of course, all this aggression has freed up Mr. Swish to farm a little bit, and speaking of farm, well, I say that, he's only got 35 creeps. If we take a look at Obsidian, he's up to 54. And after this, we'll take a look at the gold graph. 37 on the Windrunner, 44 on the Anti-Mage, 60 on the Darkseer, 38 in the Omniknight. So Dire winning in the farm battle just a little bit, but they are down on towers, as I see.
I think that Obsidian, I think that Mr. Swish has the better of that trade, because while Awesome has got 54 creeps, he's also died 3 times, whereas Swish has got 1 death and 2 kills.
Yeah, we're seeing a decent gold lead here for the Radiant. It's nothing too huge. Heal bomb and anti-mage. I love this play from Ninja Boogie. He's almost got a mechanism as well. That's going to be big. Expect to see them push aggressively. soon as that's up. Somehow Tidehunter's managed to hit level 6. He was actually only level 4. I checked him a second ago. Gush, as well as a magic missile, as well as a shackle shot, but he gets out in time. Nice waveform. Witch Doctor Maledict tanking under the shadow of the tower. Will he be able to pick up the kill in Tidehunter? He wants it. Magic missile back in. Magic missile back in. In the meantime, action on the top lane. Oh, Obsidian Destroyer does disrupt himself. Man, there's just action all over the place. Looks like OD is going to drop. Will antimage be able to punish this dive? He's going for a Battle Fury build. I don't really like that choice. I'm not going to lie.
That's a really that's one of the worst builds you could go. Short of a quick hand of Midas. Especially against this lineup. You've got nothing mid game. I mean, yeah, you can farm mid game, but he gets one kill top, which will help out, but he just doesn't have the HP pool to be able to tank up, to be able to withstand the enemy team.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it. That pure damage nuke from the Omniknight does half his HP pool, and he's not getting HP. I mean, frankly, if you're going to pick two hard carries like this, one of them has to go for more of the mid-game role, or you have to just dominate the early game, neither of which is happening right now. P in a little bit of trouble. Are we going to see a replicate heal bomb again? No, we're not. Just a little heal on the creeps. Shackle shot on Omniknight. He's taking a bunch of damage from OD. I don't think it'll be enough, though. Tidehunter's actually no Ravage up on him. The Courier dies in the middle of this fight, so that's unfortunate. Power shot to follow. Nice ult by the Omniknight. Witch Doctor with the big ultimate, as well as the cast bouncing everywhere. There's no Ravage to cancel it. Finally gets disrupted, but I believe Tidehunter will go down. What level is that Maledict? It's actually only level 1, so Tidehunter should be fine. Pretty lucky for him, though. He took a lot of damage there. Power shot,
weird.
Just doing a little more damage. Meanwhile, antimage just taking the time to farm in the top lane.
That's rather weird that we see a max cast first. What am I talking about? A max paralyzing cast first build. Usually when you're playing a support Witch Doctor, you max out the Maledict with maybe 1 or 2 points in the cask.
I've seen it both ways. If you're playing defensively, which they have been, I think cask is the way to go. If you're looking for more killing power, of course. Maledict will give you that. In this case, they were on the back.
You're laning up with Crystal Maiden who can help you. So with a higher level of Maledict, you can really punish any dives.
Yeah, and they certainly have been diving on the dire side. So, I mean, at the same time, Witch Doctor hasn't been here in the bottom lane. He was only there at the beginning. So whether you agree with the build or not, I mean, he's still doing a decent job. But yeah, if that Maledict was level 4, that would have been at least 2 or 3 kills there. The tower is going to go down the bottom lane. The push power of the Witch Doctor heal, plus the Omniknight. Of course, his ult is down, but he's got the mechanism. They're quite strong in the pushing. Looks like, interesting, Morphling is going for a Perseverance. Looks like he wants that Lincoln Sphere. Against 2 carries, I mean, Lincoln Sphere, you generally get it to farm and go for a longer game. So it gives you survivability, gives you sustainability, but it's not going to do a whole lot for you to team fight.
It's actually not bad because I believe it will block the Tidehunter Ravage, the vengeful swap, and also Shackle Shot.
Oh, nice hit Shackle Shot on 2. Power Shot as well. There's no... Actually, there is a Ravage. Why isn't he dropping it? Oh, gets the Ravage off just in time. Ninja Boogie, too tanky. Anti-Mage in here. Big vacuum, big wall. Everyone on the Dire has to retreat now. Are we going to see anyone go down? Looks like Vengeful Spirit will be the first to fall. Will they get more kills? Anti-Mage's illusion being used against him. One of the power of that Morphling. You could replicate the Anti-Mage, the Mana Burn being very effective. Well, it looked like a great fight for the Dire. It turned out to be horrible because this Omniknight is just too big right now. You can't bring him down. And if you can't bring him down, he's going to punish you. Same for the Darkseer with the Vanguard up, as well as the Omniknight supporting him. Speaking of that Darkseer, he's got 2,300 gold in the bank. If he wants to go for a pipe, he's got the hood and a little bit more.
That was a great fight from the Radiant, and there's nothing. I think they could take another tier 1, another tier 2 mid once they have their ults back up. Guardian Angel wasn't even popped in that fight.
Yep, Guardian Angel is available. He's also got a haste rune picked up, so Ninja Boogie gonna be continuing to do his dance in the next team fight. Anti-Mage still working that Battle Fury. In terms of the Obsidian Destroyer, well, he's going for that more supportive build, and that means he's picking up a mechanism. So he'll be able to contribute a little bit. If he can survive the initial burst, he'll be able to heal his team up. Of course, the armor is nice, gives him a little bit more survivability. But, I mean, still, this Anti-Mage is not going to be able to do anything for a long time.
They're just not tanky enough. I mean, Anti-Mage has 750 HP now. That's not going to help a lot. And Obsidian Destroyer has got 900. He can be easily focused and nuked down by the Radiant side. Even if he gets the mech up, that won't matter much if you get focused down immediately.
Yeah, if you can't pop the mech, or you have to use it just on yourself, that's not going to be too helpful. You compare that, of course, to Duskbin. You're not killing this Omniknight before he gets his mech off. He's got Repel, he's got Heal, he's got a Haste Word, and he's got the Mechanism, as well as that Guardian Angel. So there's no way you bring him down first. That's a guaranteed mech will get off. Witch Doctor going for even more healing. He's picked up an Urn of Shadows. I like the choice because they're playing so aggressively. Looks like we're seeing a 4+1 strat, which basically means the one carry, which is the Morphling, farms on one side of the map, while the rest of the team pushes together, groups together, ganks together. And this is especially nice with Morphling or a hero like Spectre, because you can join the fight at any time.
Outworld Destroyer is probably going to go down right now.
Yep, he's most likely dead. Will we see any TPs? 2 TPs coming in. Repel up on the Darkseer. He's guaranteed to get that vacuum off as well as the wall. I say that, the Repel ends immediately. But looks like Vengeful Spirit will be the one to pay instead. A better trade than losing that Obsidian Destroyer, but really not what you're looking for at the same time. If you just look at the map right now, they're all on the back foot. I mean, antimage is doing his best to push over towards the bottom. He's about to pick up that Battle Fury. And if they can split push for like 5-10 more minutes, then they'll be looking decent. Waveform in, initiation on the Windrunner. A nice defensive disruption. Looks like we will see Witch Doctor in some danger. He'll be okay for now. Immediately healed back to full. Anti-Mage kiting around here. Shackle Shot not going to latch. Good positioning from Duskbin. Repel up on the Witch Doctor. Drops the ultimate. There's no way to cancel it. Really cannot fight under this ward. He's going to try. Tidehunter is going to pay. Does he have buyback? He does not. That means no Ravage for 20 seconds. Anti-Mage, again, he was forced to leave the push bottom and come help top. Still no Battle Fury up on him.
Be the death of that tower.
Well, Shackle Shot on the Windrunner. Power Shot to follow. I expect to see immediate TPs. No, Obsidian drops the ult. Witch Doctor will go down, but they're still pretty healthy otherwise. If they want to fight, they can. Looks like Vengeful Spirit in some danger here. Will she go down? Anti-Mage blinks in, but that Repel means you can't Mana Burn the Morphling. You also can't ult him and do damage with it. Mr. Switch going to be picking up a double kill. Will he get the triple? Vacuum in. Nice backwards vacuum from Argian. Hannah P going to pay as well. Minimice getting completely outplayed here. Dominated in these team fights. Duskbin, they picked more of a mid-game lineup. They picked the more aggressive heroes, and they're playing it to perfection.
And even if Antimage gets his Battle Fury, that's really late.
Siege, do you have like a vacuum cleaner next to your computer or something?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well maybe go ahead and turn that off.
Yeah,
it was quite loud. Let's see here. So let's take another look at the gold graph. Big lead for Duskbin. Can't say I'm surprised. But it's not just the gold that you want to look at, it's also the map control. If you take a look at where the lanes are positioned right now, the Dire are pushed deep into their own territory, so they're constantly trying to defend these lanes. The Radiant have lots of room, so they can move around all over this area. They can be very aggressive. They can probably go for Roshan soon if they want to. I hope you guys enjoy my drawing skills. With that being said, mid tower being pressured. Looks like it'll go down. Has there been any other item progression on the Radiant or the Dire side? Anti-Mage, I'm guessing I'll have the Battle Fury by now. No, he died in the last fight, I believe. So he does not have the Battle Fury.
No, he didn't get the farm from bot lane, from the bot tower.
Yeah, but he had like 1100 gold when I checked him up top. Well, either way, no Battle Fury yet. Even if he got it, would it matter? I don't think it would. I mean, he needs another. He needs a Treads, he needs a Vitality booster or a Manta before he can really contribute.
Yep. The Battle Fury by itself gives nothing in a team fight, and you're not going to have the space to farm. Duskbin are just going to keep hammering down your door. If you look at the Radiant side, they have nearly full HP on the mid tower, half HP on the bottom tower, half HP on the top tower. Yeah, they have literally not lost any towers, and the gold should reflect that.
Well,
ooh, that's a very big difference.
What are you talking about?
And the gold graph.
Oh yeah, over 10k.
Difference.
Actually, up to about 12k now. That is a massive difference. Anti-Mage does have the Battle Fury picked up, working towards those power treads. So you know, if they let it go another 10 minutes or so, he can probably carry this. But I don't think we'll be seeing Duskbin let it go 10 minutes. They're going to pick up an Aegis. The question for me is, do you give it to the Morphling, do you give it to the Omniknight, or do you give it to the Darkseer? They could all, you can make arguments for all of them. In the end, Morphling will be the choice. Certainly, probably the most traditional choice. He is the hard carry for the team. And of course, this will allow him to be insanely aggressive. You've not only got the Omniknight to support you, Anti-Mage wants to 1v1 versus Mr. Swish. He cannot use the Mana Void.
No mana.
Oh, he's going to get burned by his own illusion here. He's going to be forced to run away. 2 swipes from his own illusion, and he's down about half of his health. Man, oh, that hurts. So this is the problem with not being tanky when you're anti-mage.
Ooh, that's a big
Radiant's
steal.
top tower has fallen.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. Anti-mage did get the last hit on that tower. Nice blink in by him. Now he's going to blink away. The pressure continues in the middle lane. Honestly, I know morphling wanted to defend that tower, but now that it's dead, I say you go replicate a teammate, heal up, and then group up mid. I mean, you've got to...
He's already sending the anti-mage replicate mid, so he's going to TP back, heal up, and then morph, and then replicate straight mid.
Yeah, he's not level 16, so actually the replicate's about to die. He can probably get mana boosted up by his team, if anyone has them. Nobody has mana boots, so he might be a little low on mana. Of course he does have... Oh, actually, excuse me, omniknight does. Looks like they're going to draw this one out. I don't know if I like that choice. You can see Anti-Mage is quite content to go push the other lanes. He's going to pick up another tier 1 tower if they don't breach the high ground soon. And once you get two towers going your way, it's suddenly looking a lot better for the supports.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe Duskbin just don't feel confident enough that they need a bit more levels. But you have a level 13 Omniknight, a level 14 Dark Seer, 14 Morphling, 14 Omniknight. That's, in my opinion, more than enough to break down the mid tier 3.
Not only that, and I can't believe I didn't notice this earlier, Darkseer has a Hex. I mean, this is a 23-minute Vanguard Hex Soul Ring boots, as well as Magic Wand. Let's take a look at his gold per minute. It's probably better than the Anti-Mage. It's 475. Anti-Mage only at 343. Morphling's up at 500. I mean, if you just look at the gold per minute on the core heroes here for the Radiant, they are all ahead of the Anti-Mage. So, in my opinion, there's nothing to wait for. I guess you could wait for a pipe, but you don't really need one. I mean, you've got the mech, you've got the Omniknight, you've got the Hex.
Yeah, the pipe would keep your supports alive, but you don't even...
Who cares about them?
You don't even need them past the Maledict, the Ult, and the CM Frostbite. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to be winning these fights anyway. Duskbin maybe feeling confident enough to go for a mid push. Omniknight...
Eagle Horn up on the Morphling, so he's going to go shotgun build.
Yeah, I love the choice. I mean, shotgun is... If you're not having a good time, it's dangerous, but you've got an Aegis, you've got an Omniknight to protect you, and you're way ahead of the enemy team. So you're going to absolutely murder between that Ethereal Strike as well as the Adaptive Strike.
It's like picking up an early Dagon. Just helps you consolidate your lead.
I want to say it's more like a Dagon 5. I mean, it's a lot of damage. Oh, vacuum in on the Windrunner. Hex to follow. Bursting down. Duskbin, will they be able to get a defensive swap? She does get away, but Vengeful Spirit will drop instead. Looks like the towers can be pressured. Witch Doctor ult was used during that fight. But crucially, Omniknight ult is up. Mechanism is up. And of course, Repel will be coming off cooldown momentarily. They still have the vacuum. They still have the wall, so nothing big was used. Tower taking a lot of pressure. Anti-Mage pushing one lane. Obsidian pushing the other. Can't believe this bottom tower hasn't died yet. Well, actually, it makes sense because there's no creeps to push it down. Anti-Mage maybe try to backdoor, but they're just going to give up the tower for free. And Duskbin can probably look to rotate mid. They also still have the Aegis up on the Morphling. This may be one of the quietest end conclusions to a game I've ever seen. This is like if you've ever played a pub game and you know, like, and your team's just feeding or raging and there's no hope of winning a fight. You know, sometimes you'll just go farm the other lanes while they push down your racks. It kind of feels like that's what happened. That's what's happening right now.
If this was a pub game, Anti-Mage would be crying in all chat, GG, Team Noob, go in.
Now, of course, you know, these players are all in it together. I'm not saying they're flaming each other, but, you know, tactical decision to give up a full melee Rex for nothing. I mean, you get a little farm up. Will it be enough is the question. I don't think so. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who would. Anti-Mage with 2,000 gold in the bank. Probably going to need to save for buyback. At the same time, if he dies once, he's probably dying again. I'm surprised Duskbin isn't...
If he dies once, they're gonna get a Vax and probably throw them. Because if they lose this one team fight, that's gonna be 2 Vaxes.
Ninja Boogie, another courier snipe going out this game. Hasted Omniknight, just too good. Ninja Boogie, I mean, gotta say, he's living up to his name this game, and that's putting it very mildly. So good, just beating that courier into submission. You know, Invis ganking up in the top lane, heal bombing, replicates. This guy is doing it all today. I feel like he deserves...
Did the courier actually manage to deliver its items?
I was too busy watching it die. I probably should have checked what it had. I think it might have been the OD's Force Staff.
Oh, that's...
Oh, OD just melts. Ethereal Blade is up on Morphling. See ya, OD. Now the push will commence on the middle lane as Lei frantically huffs and puffs his way over there. Repel up on Morphling. They can't even do anything to him. Ravage is useless. Shackle Shot is useless. OD can't right-click him. Mana Burn's not going to hit him. This Repel is the answer to all of their problems. And of course, don't forget about that Guardian Angel if you need it. The Hex will be online in 10 seconds. Are they going to give up another set of racks for nothing? Antimage just farming to the jungle.
Gonna leave the jungle.
I mean, this is past the point of a tactical decision. This is like conceding the game. This windrunner
Yeah, you might as well.
going down. Vacuum in on 2. Ravage going to be popped? No, no Ravage. Cash bouncing wildly. Oh, like I mean, more a pretty anticlimactic end of the game. I gotta say.
You might as well just call it GG well played and leave by now.
If you're just gonna farm neutrals while you lose tier 2, I guess you want to pad those stats a little bit. Even dewarding inside the enemy base, Duskbin is just, this is as commanding of his victory as you will ever see. It's almost, yeah, I'm not gonna say it's sad, but it's a little
Offensive
unfortunate.
GG coming out.
Even with the offensive GGs. I mean, to be fair, the game is very over. So Minimice not ready to give up just yet. Tidehunter still wants to drop that Ravage for laughs and giggles here. Vacuum in on the bench. Hex to follow. Surge in. Ion Shell. Will she go down? Shackle shot into a tree. Darkseer maybe in a tiny bit of trouble as Morphling picking off someone on the other end of the base. Ravage, decent Ravage as well, hitting 2. But even Witch Dog, this dude... The courier dies again. This courier, man. Really, both teams' couriers just constantly behind enemy lines. The true unspoken heroes of this game, as Mr. Switch picks up a rampage in the enemy fountain just for good measure. If you want a true offensive GG, that's the way to do it, folks. Just kill them all inside of the fountain. It was a greedy lineup. It was an even greedier item selection for the anti-mage, going for the Battle Fury. Ninja Boogie played like an absolute boss. Nice rotations around the map from the Witch Doctor. And frankly, Minimice just getting outplayed.
That was a really big stomp, and to be honest, anti-mage played like a prop.
Well,
I didn't pick Furon.
well, at least Furon pushes a little harder. I mean, I know a lot of players.
Even a Furon who rushed, handled Maidus, and Aghanim Scepter would have been more used than anti-mage.
Possibly, but he was banned. Duskbin banned him immediately, so no Fury on this game. Mr. Swish continued to fountain camp like a boss. Gotta pad those stats. OD probably gonna go down to that Maledict. Oh, nice defensive Astral Imprisonment there. Will he survive? Mr. Swish frantically morphing to strength. Big OD ultimate. In comes the anti-mage. The throne is dying in the meantime. It is absolutely under siege. 1 goes down for the Dire. 2 to follow. 3 to follow. Everyone dying in the fountain. Well, folks, it was close for a little while, and then it quickly spiraled out of control. Siege, thank you for joining me. Well played overall, I gotta say, by Duskbin. They look very strong. They're one of the teams in the Asia non-pro division that many would argue deserve to be in the Pro 1, or they're certainly on the border. So Minimice clearly having some things to work on going into their next game, but they still made a decent effort of it considering how far behind they got. But I gotta say, Duskbin looked strong. Their teamwork was solid, their picks were better, and they really played the lineup to perfection.
A very good performance by Duskbin, and yeah, you could probably pinpoint that Witch Doctor rotation as the starting point of omniknight snowballing out of control.
Yeah, it slowed down the anti-mage, and then Witch Doctor also went top and got an... I mean, I don't know if he's needed to get that second kill on the obsidian, but he helped anyway. Managed the last hit.
And he definitely helped out with a third kill as well.
Yeah, so big, the unspoken hero of this game perhaps is Lei, playing that secondary support Witch Doctor. Guys, thank you for joining us. This was the first cast for today. I will have more ProDota2 Asian action for you. In fact, I think I'm casting a lot of the top teams today. Looks like Toby won't be casting anything until later, so even if you're a Toby fan, he's not casting until AL versus eHome, so you're stuck with me if you want to watch those games. I hope you guys enjoyed this. For now, that's going to do it for the VOD. I'm going to leave the stream up. We might be casting some more non-pro games, or maybe just playing a pub and waiting for the DK match to start. That should be DK versus Myth Trust. It starts in about 45 minutes, and that is the correct time. So guys, don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. I saw during the game a lot of you were complaining about quality issues. I do apologize for that. If you have issues with quality, please report it to Twitch, and hopefully they will give me partner or at least quality options. That's nothing that I can control on my end. So for now, that's going to do it for this game. Siege, thanks for joining me. We'll be on the stream, so feel free to hang out, guys.